Join us on an investigative journey.
We'll educate each other on a range of scientific discoveries, concepts and phenomena,
as well as a dive into the complex world of pseudoscience to separate the factual from the fabricated.
I'm Matt McCabe.
I'm Levi Bateman.
And I'm Sam Lorsarica.
And this is Idio Facto.
Yes! Take
Wow.
3.
That should not have taken that long to record. It's really simple.
That's a take.
God.
What happened there?
It's been a while.
It's been a long time. For some reason, all of us saying our names really threw me off there for a moment. It seemed really weird.
And I'm... Wait, what's my name again?
Which one of the three?
Which one am I? Yeah. Anyway, how long has it been?
It's been 9 months.
9 months.
The last time we released, anyway, was the Hangovers episode, which was September 2020.
Wow.
The last time we recorded was January.
February? It was, yeah.
Yeah.
The two unreleased episodes.
It was quite recent, and of
Never
course,
to be heard.
you listeners won't ever discover what those episodes are like because we're not going to release them because they're totally outdated now.
Unless you subscribe to our Patreon, and then we'll release them as extra content. If we do that.
You've been listening to too many podcasts. So
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe one day
Yeah.
we can...
maybe. It'll be like a B-side on our... Wait, do they have B-sides anymore?
Nah, just special content. Subscriber-only content.
We'll
Yeah.
just
It's
release...
for the DVD.
Yeah,
Release the
that's it.
raw audio. Unfiltered. Unedited.
No, people will unsubscribe to not have that.
One of my friends was really... shout out to Danny. One of my friends was really interested in hearing more of the podcast. And so she was like, oh, just send me the raw file. I don't care. And I was like, I'm not going to send you the raw file.
Wow.
She was like, no, come on. I don't care. So I did. And yeah, I think she enjoyed it, but I don't know how.
There's a pretty specific audience of people that would enjoy unedited Idio Facto.
Yes.
Yeah, like the hardcore fan.
Not because it's bad if it's unedited. I just mean there's a lot of beeps in there. There's a lot of absolute...
Well, you know we could put in a beep after.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of f***ing bullshit in there that people don't want to hear.
If you want to hear that not bleeped, subscribe to our Patreon.
The start of this episode, which I may or may not edit, we should give you some indication of how bad we are.
And how rusty we are.
Yeah, I think it's more rustiness than anything else.
I think it's gold.
Yeah.
That's what the listeners want.
Anyway, this is the shit that other podcasts do that I'm always like, come on, get on with it.
You know what are you talking
Shut up.
about? But that's the point of this
Love it.
whole episode, isn't it?
Yeah. Just catching up.
Yeah, well, there you go. Oh, God, I'm also not used to not swearing anymore, so I just, everything I go to say is, anyway. Yeah, I guess we're out of luck.
I suppose so. Anyway, I hope a lot has happened in 9 months. A lot has happened for me. What about you boys? What's news?
Certainly for me.
Yeah, well, you start, Matt. What's been going on?
I got a job, so that's exciting for me.
Woo!
I work for New South Wales National Parks, so
Nice.
out in the bush, saving threatened species and protecting national parks and all that sort of stuff. That's pretty much the major thing that's happened to me in the last 9 months. And of course, the COVID thing puts a stop to just about anything exciting. But one of the more exciting things that I got to do was catch up with the members of Idio Facto in real life for the first time ever at one of our weddings. And I'll leave you guys to guess which one of that it was. Levi flashes his bling.
Yeah.
That really was the first time, and I think that kind of shatters the glass for a lot of people that don't know how we record this. But I can remember telling a friend once that we don't sit in the same room, and in fact that Sam and Matt had never met, and she could not believe it.
So that was the first time we'd met in how long? We'd been recording for a little while, but
yeah, we'd been recording for like a year probably, and then we'd been friends for maybe 2 years before that, but never actually met in real life, which is not a thing that you could have said 25 years ago.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, the internet, hey?
Yeah.
Practically pen pals.
Yeah. Virtual
Yeah, just
pen pals.
like maybe slightly closer than pen pals would be, I guess.
I
Yeah.
suppose.
No, that was cool.
Yeah, I went down for Levi's Bucks party. We spent a weekend in Adelaide, and then Sam and I hung out afterwards and did some fun things without Levi. Checked out some Wallamai pines in the botanical gardens.
Yeah.
Can't have been that much fun.
A bit of light larceny, but nothing other untoward.
No, and then a couple of weekends after that, we went back down to Levi's place in Mount Gambier and watched him get married.
What we didn't know about that period, Sam, was that was actually the sort of official job interview to be part of Video Facto.
Oh, we weren't going to tell him, Levi.
I see.
Well, I am now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well-
now that he's pinned down the gig for good.
Yeah. Well, lucky I escaped the room and drank the beers. What
Yeah.
else did we do? some stuff
Played
like
the
that.
putt-putt,
What happens
the
at the
putt-putt.
Buck Show stays at the Buck Show.
Yeah, fair enough.
even though we just told everybody what happened at the Buck Show. But, you know,
Yeah,
it's
that's okay. They don't need to know the rest of it.
got pretty out of hand. I tell you what, that mini golf, whoo-wee.
Dirty
Yeah,
boys.
that was wild.
Yeah. And then you got married, Levi.
I got married in April. Yes, after...
Congratulations. Even though I was there and I've said congratulations to you before, but this is the official public congratulations.
A very rousing public congratulations to you, Levi and Christy.
I was actually supposed to get married shortly after the last episode of Video Facto was released, but we had to... I mean, we made the call much earlier than that, but we had to postpone it, and it was going to be October last year, and then we moved it to April, and we had to make a heap of other changes about the venue and what we could and couldn't do as COVID restrictions changed how many people we could have in certain venues and what type of activities we were allowed to do in a private venue.
And the
dancing and like.
unpredictability of like when it was all going to change is the hard part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were a bit worried for a while there because Sam's in Adelaide, and I'm in Sydney, obviously, and Levi's in Mount Gambier, so it wouldn't have been so much of a problem for Sam to get to Mount Gambier, but like some of your bridal party came from Victoria, I came from Sydney, like it would have thrown the place into chaos if we weren't able to come, but
Yeah, so-
luckily...
So both Christy and I both had one person from Mount Gambier, one person from Melbourne, one person from Sydney. So we were kind of watching 3 different states' COVID restrictions on the lead up to both weddings. And any of the listeners that have planned a wedding will know that even a wedding in non-pandemic times is stressful enough, let alone throwing a global pandemic in there. But we got it done, and it was an awesome time. I didn't expect to have quite so much fun, to be perfectly honest with you.
Can attest to that.
I had a ball, and I think one of the reasons why was because so many different people worded me up about the wedding day before I actually got married, and they said, "Oh, you're going to be so busy, and you're not going to get a chance to have a drink, and everyone's going to want a piece of you." And so I was really mindful of that the whole time, and so I was trying to be in the moment, and yeah, consequently had an absolute ball, and all of the important people were there. You are busy, like we were flat out. There's never a moment where you don't have somebody to talk to, someone that wants to chew your ear off about something. But
Yeah.
it's fantastic. I kind of want to do it again, but be a guest.
That's a weird thing to say.
Yeah.
Hey, Christy, I was thinking maybe we get divorced
Yeah.
and then married again.
But we don't have the whole ceremony thing. We just have the party. Just
Yeah,
have the
can't
fun
you just
times.
have a party?
Yeah.
What about like first anniversary? Have
Yeah.
a big party.
Yeah.
People tend not to make the same effort, though. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Is that people make huge effort and they come from everywhere.
That's a good point.
Anyway, that's one bit of my news. I suppose one of the things that I did, that's pretty significant. It did chew up a significant portion of my time over the last 9 months or so. But I've been doing a lot of scuba diving. I think since the last episode, in one of the last episodes, I think I might have mentioned that I wanted to start scuba diving.
Yeah, probably. That long ago.
Which that seems like a very long time ago for
It
us.
does, but really, like, I didn't get certified in open water until November. So, like a couple of months after we actually recorded. But yeah, since then we've been doing heaps of diving. We've done a few different courses. We've done advanced open water. We've done a nitrox certification, and we've just been diving a fair bit now, which is
Expensive.
excellent.
Oh, yeah, excellent. Yeah.
It is, yeah. It's an expensive hobby. One thing that we were going to do up until actually just yesterday was go on for our honeymoon, a live aboard dive boat where you actually stay on the dive boat for 2 nights. You do 11 dives over 3 days.
Sweet.
Wow.
It would have been amazing on the Great Barrier Reef out of Cairns.
Awesome.
Oh, nice.
But because of COVID, there's new restrictions and we had to cancel our honeymoon. And so now instead of doing that, we're doing nothing.
Well, that's almost as exciting.
Almost. To some,
Yeah.
yes. But to us,
Yes.
we're a little bit disappointed.
Yeah.
Yes, I can imagine. Yeah.
Anyway, that's the world that we live in at the moment, unfortunately. I said to somebody the other day, this last 18 months, we have crossed so much off our calendar. You plan something and then you just cross it off
Then
like
it's
it's
gone.
nothing anymore. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. Try again another week.
It's still a bit weird because I have to constantly remind myself that, like, we have it a lot better than most other places in the world, or at least we have had. But because I guess everyone in the rest of the world is so used to living with COVID now, and we are not because we haven't had it much. So it starts to beg the question, when are we going to start living with it, I guess?
Yeah. I was listening to one of the updates, COVID updates today. So today is the Monday, the 28th of June, just for whenever this gets released. And I think an important point that was made, I think it was by Nicholas Berrier, who's the Chief Health Officer for South Australia. I don't know what the right
Sounds about
title
right.
is. But anyway, Professor Sperry was saying, because there was a question about why are we being so strict and acting so quickly on by putting restrictions in place, and she said, well, nationwide, our goal for controlling COVID is to have no community transmission. So I think that's a big difference between us and other countries where there's just, they're just managing the community transmission as best they can, whereas we're actually aiming for no community transmission. And that's why we're having such strict measures put in place so early. So yeah, I thought that was a really important point to put across, and it was, quite good.
I guess the most reasonable method for obtaining no community transmission at the moment would be increasing our vaccination rate, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's got to be it. Following the social distancing and masks and vaccines, which it sounds like there's been a big increase in vaccine delivery, especially in the eastern states over the last 10 days or so, which has been really good.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Are you fully vaccinated, Sam?
Yeah, I'm fully vaccinated. When was my second dose? About a bit over a month ago. So, yeah, fully vaxxed up.
I'm half vaccinated. My second one is in another 2 weeks. So,
Nice.
Oh.
what about you, Levi?
I've had both. Yeah.
Did you guys have any? Which one did you get?
I got the Pfizer.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, same. Any side effects?
The first one so far was fine.
Yeah, first one for me, sore arm, like site of administration, but nothing else. Second one, I think I have no idea whether it's because you hear so much that the second dose is going to be bad, but what I felt, whether or not it was, might never matter, psychosomatic, but what I felt was quite achy, like the days before you get a bad cold. I was kind of weak and shivery. I felt like muscle aches and felt quite weak and a little bit cold.
That sounds about right, though, doesn't it, Sam?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what's expected with the vaccine, because basically what it's doing is it's activating your immune system. So it's quite interesting because then, next time you get a cold or something like that, those symptoms aren't actually from the infection. That's actually just from your immune system doing its job. Yeah.
I was really surprised when I asked the nurse when I got my second dose what the difference was between the first and the second dose, because I assumed there must have been quite a difference because of the difference in response and side effects. And she said they're exactly the same. That vial could be the first dose or the second dose for anybody.
Yeah.
It's your body that's producing the different effect.
Anecdotally, what's been reported is that Pfizer, the second dose, the side effects are generally worse than the first, but then AstraZeneca, the side effects are generally worse with the first dose. But that's just anecdotal reporting.
Well, I believe anecdotes. So if we've learned anything from the last 2 years or however long we've been doing the podcast for, it's that anecdotes are always accurate and never have any flaws.
And they're the best form of evidence.
Yes, the only form of evidence, really.
The plural of anecdote is data, isn't it? Is that how the saying goes?
Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I didn't really get any side effects. From the first dose, I had like a bit of a headache, just felt a bit fatigued, but then I was expecting I might feel pretty bad after the second one, and I was totally fine. I didn't get anything, so lucky me.
Well, I'll see if I go somewhere in the middle when I get my second one, but I'm not anticipating anything. It's funny you say that, Levi, because, yeah, if you think it's psychosomatic, but I really was expecting to feel bad after the first one. I was like any second, as soon as I had a hint of a headache, I was like, oh, this is it. It's coming. And it just never turned into anything. So, I don't know. I probably could have convinced myself that I had symptoms, but I really didn't. So
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Don't know, maybe that's just my brain playing other tricks on me, because the brain does that to you sometimes. But
Yeah, certainly does.
Yeah. And there is a physiological basis for that second response being stronger than the first.
it is an expected thing then.
Yeah, just because your immune system has already been exposed, so it's going to have a more targeted reaction the next time. So it's generally a bigger and stronger reaction. And it's similar with, not the same mechanism, but there's a similar phenomenon with like allergic reactions to a whole bunch of things. Like, for example, people with anaphylaxis, they don't get anaphylaxis their first exposure to something, but they will be unwell and they'll get an allergic reaction. But then each time they get exposed to that particular thing, then their response will be bigger.
Right.
So it's a similar, just the way that the immune system works. The more it's exposed, the more tuned to it becomes, and also the more frequently you're exposed, then the more of those antibodies it has floating around. So the quicker it's going and more strongly it's going to respond.
So does that mean that Levi's got more protection than you do, Sam?
There is a thought, which I haven't seen any data on at all, but there is a thought that the stronger reaction to the vaccine might correlate to just a better innate response to COVID in the first place. So, yeah.
Right.
That's interesting.
Interesting.
I'm becoming more and more worried about leech bites, because it's not uncommon for me to get bitten by leeches at work. I
hate leeches.
Oh, I hate them as well. Yeah,
I don't mind spiders. I don't mind snakes. I don't mind any other creepy crawlies, but leeches, I cannot stand leeches.
Yeah.
They are the worst.
I'd rather come across a dirty big tiger snake, to be honest.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to.
Which one would you rather be bitten by, though?
Yeah. I was going to say, if I could choose which one was biting my leg,
Yeah.
it would be a leech. But in terms of
I think it'd be a toss-up for me.
But, so my response to a leech bite never used to be much. I'd bleed like anybody else, and I'd get a little bit itchy at the site for the next day, but it was never anything too bad. Whereas lately, if I get bitten by a leech, I'll bleed as normal, sort of uncontrollably for a few hours afterwards. But then the following days, it will be incredibly itchy, like almost unbearably itchy. I'm getting like quite a big lump underneath wherever the leech bite is. And it seems to be getting worse with each one that I get. And I've heard that you can actually develop anaphylaxis with enough exposure. So I'm starting to get a little bit worried about it.
Yeah. How often are you getting bitten by leeches?
Oh,
3 times a day, not that often.
I've probably had half a dozen over the last 3 years.
Yeah, so that's pretty frequent exposure. So your immune system response will ramp up to it. Yeah.
Okay.
There is a potential. It's like how people develop celiac disease later in life or lactose intolerance. If you can develop those kind of things later in life.
And can you self-diagnose lactose intolerance and celiac
Never.
disease, Sam? Or is that something that you probably should see a doctor about?
You can never self-diagnose those things. But if you have any concerns, please see a GP.
But what if my friend told me that they've got it and my symptoms are like theirs, and so I've probably got it?
Yeah, I would advise you to speak to your GP.
Like you said, anecdotes are the only form of evidence.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
I just want to go back to side effects of the vaccination for a bit. Did anybody see the news story, or should I say lack of news story, about the deaths following COVID vaccinations in Australia?
No.
No.
I saw it on social media. Someone posted a statistic, a friend of a friend of a friend posted a statistic that 210 people in Australia had died following their COVID vaccination. And their comment was something like, why isn't this being reported in the media? Government's pushing this vaccination, but it's not even safe. And their source was an Australian government website. In fact, it was the branch of the Department of Health, the Therapeutic Goods Administration, the TGA.
So from my understanding, there's only been one death related to the vaccines, right?
That's right. But the statistic was, and I can read you the direct quote. So this was on the 23rd of May, 2021. 3.6 million doses of COVID-19 vaccines have been given in Australia. In this period, the TGA has received 210 reports of death following immunisation. And that's broken up between Pfizer and AstraZeneca.
Mm-hmm.
I reckon I can probably already tell what's happened here.
Yeah.
But go on.
So 93% of the people were over 65 years of age. And of those, 3/4 were over 75 years of age. This seems like a kind of scary statistic if you're somebody that's already got an anti-vax mindset, then to hear that in Australia, out of the 3.6 million doses, I mean, as a percentage, that's still quite low, even if it was directly caused by the vaccination.
Which it's not.
For a direct cause, that's pretty high.
Yeah, but if you read further along on the TGA report, they'll explain that, and I guess to sum it up, but you can talk more about this, Sam, I suppose, but the only thing that every human on Earth really has in common is that we'll all die at some stage. Everyone will die.
And we pay taxes as well.
Not everyone?
No, it's
Unfortunately.
that's the saying, Levi.
Oh.
You know, there's only certain things in life are death and taxes.
Cut that bit out.
Yeah, sure. I edit the thing. I'm going to leave my own jokes in. Thanks.
All right. But everyone dies. So if you happen to die in the period following your COVID vaccination, it's going to be recorded as a death following a COVID vaccination.
Because it is literally a death following a COVID vaccination. There's not necessarily a correlation.
No. It says, so on this Department of Health website, it says, the TGA reviews all deaths reported after vaccination and monitors for safety signals. Part of our analysis includes comparing expected natural death rates to observed death rates following immunisation. To date, the observed number of deaths reported after vaccination is actually less than the expected number of deaths. So,
For all other causes.
So the vaccine actually saves people from dying.
yeah,
There is more evidence for that.
That's true.
One could argue.
Yeah. So 210 deaths is better than whatever it would be otherwise. It's still deaths following a vaccination, and you can definitely use that statistic if you have an anti-vax agenda. You can say it's not safe.
You can definitely use the same statistic if you have a pro-vaccination agenda by saying that it's saving people's lives.
For sure.
Yeah, if you use the entire statistic.
Most of that is probably to do with the fact that the people who are really sick probably can't go and get vaccinated.
Yeah.
But, like, still, you could spin it just as badly to a pro-vax bent, and it would be just as bad a misuse of statistics, but
Of course.
not anti-vax.
Well, I think giving the entire statistic and the explanation behind it is not a poor use of statistics.
No, that is how statistics should be used.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if they just gave, it's good that they actually have. I have a lot of problems with the TGA in Australia, the Therapeutic Goods Administration in Australia, just because they lack the teeth to actually do anything substantial to people who flout the rules, and that's got to do with
Are we talking about pseudoscientific
supplements and things like that.
complementary medicine?
alternative medicines, people who flaunt the rules and sort of don't really care, they don't really have any regulatory power beyond saying, that's very bad, you shouldn't do that. That's a really good statistic to put in there and make sure that you explain. Like, okay, fair enough, that would be an alarming statistic, but read this explanation that we've given you on exactly the same page that we give you the statistic.
2 lines further down and you'll see an explanation.
It's really not that hard. But no.
Apparently, there's a certain, like, I've got a sticker on my letterbox that says no junk mail because I hate it. But apparently there's a certain Australian politician that has been putting this exact statistic as a scare campaign for some reason.
Can probably guess who.
Yeah. 2 guesses.
Yeah. Well, actually, it could be one of a couple. It doesn't say much for the state of Australian politics, but I'm happy to say it's Clive Palmer.
It's Clive Palmer. Yeah.
Come at us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come at me, Clive.
Man, that would be so good.
Wrong.
Can we get Clive Palmer on and just ask him all of the hard questions? Just watch him go up.
I want to ask him a few questions about his dinosaur park.
It's his dinosaur park.
Yeah.
Oh, look that up.
Good,
He's got like a dinosaur themed theme park.
Awesome.
Does he actually, did it ever open or is he
Is this real life Jurassic Park? This is how it starts. A rich guy opens a dinosaur
with
themed
plastic
park,
dinosaurs?
and next thing you know, we all die because a T-Rex f***ing rampages everywhere.
You're not allowed to say f***ing.
Parmosaurus? What? Is that what it's called? It is. It's called Parmosaurus.
You're joking. He's like the shit Australian Donald Trump, honestly.
Trump, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh my god,
dear.
it is. It's called Parmosaurus.
Yeah.
Related stories. Clive Palmer says electrical fault sparked fiery extinction of Jeff the dinosaur.
Yeah, I found another one.
Oh my
Clive
God.
Palmer's Parmosaurus might just be the saddest theme park in the world.
Oh, man.
Parmosaurus.
I was just in Queensland. I should have gone to check it out.
You should have. How was your trip away? Tell us about that.
Yeah, it was good. I had to go up to the Gold Coast to sit an exam. So
you can be a real medicine talking guy.
yeah. Oh, that reminds me. Someone asked me to explain what my job is. So because I'm specializing in rehab. So basically, when you go into medicine, you do med school, you do a year of internship, then you do a year as an RMO, which is you do however many years as an RMO, which is resident medical officer, where you're not specializing, and then you apply for specialty training programs, whether it be GP, some type of surgery, some type of medicine. I chose rehab medicine. So once you're in a training program, you're a registrar. It's a 4-year program, assuming you pass everything on time. And I am in my 2nd year. And then once you're done with registrar training, then you either become a fellow or a consultant. So I'm a rehab registrar. Our job is basically to manage the medical side of patients while they're undergoing rehab with a multidisciplinary team. So like a physio, occupational therapist, dietitian, speech pathologist, and social worker is the general team.
What type of rehab?
Bit of everything. The biggest areas of rehab really are stroke, orthopedic, amputee, spinal, and brain injury. In South Australia, there's specialist spinal and brain injury rehab that most of those patients go to, and I don't work there. I work mostly with stroke, orthopedics, and amputee stuff. So
Okay.
But yeah, so I had an exam, one of 2 exams that I have to pass before getting into the 3rd year of the program. So I've had both of them this year. I passed the first one and waiting to hear back about the second one.
Awesome. And you made a holiday of it while you're up there?
Yeah, stayed up there for a week, went up to the Sunshine Coast and just had a very relaxing week. So it was very nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad one of us got to get to Queensland.
Sorry.
I was planning to go a little bit further north.
Yeah.
And you nailed a couple of escape rooms by the sounds of it.
Oh, yeah. We are pros. So that was our 2nd and 3rd escape room. We escaped with 20 minutes to spare and 15 minutes to spare.
Ah, too easy.
Easy.
Yeah. It was really cool.
They were 3 out of 10 difficulty, but
Yeah. Nah, that was the 2 hardest ones, they said. So there you go.
At Levi's Buck Show, we did an escape room, and all the staff were getting really excited because we were going really well, looking to break the record, and then we got stuck on a stupid clue that we thought we'd tried and didn't try.
Yeah, with a miscommunication
It's very frustrating.
nearly broke the record.
Yeah.
And the responsible party is a friend of the podcast that will not be named. But you know who you are.
let's just call them Fames. Fames Winan.
That's all that stood between us and a record time.
We still got out.
Yeah,
We still
did.
got out. Yeah, we still got out with plenty of time, but, you know,
Yeah.
it could have been a record time.
Yeah.
But it's fine. I'm not sad about it.
No.
No. I haven't been talking about it every day for the last 6 weeks.
Yeah, I definitely don't resent the responsible person for it.
I definitely don't wake up in the middle of the night going, oh, no, anything but that.
The other combination lock. Try the other
7-3. 7-3.
Damn it. Oh, dear.
All right, I think we should probably shut up now.
Probably, yeah. Let's wrap it up.
I think we've
enough.
rambled on long enough.
We're planning to start actually recording regularly from now on.
We are.
So re-subscribe or whatever you do with podcasts and get excited for some more content.
Yeah, hopefully you saw this pop up on your feed and you thought, hey, more Idio Facto. And then you heard us talk about ourselves for the next half an hour. But, you know, there'll be some actual Idio Facto coming in the next couple of weeks. So
Next week.
Hopefully.
1 week. Come on. Let's commit to it.
1 week.
There we go.
There'll be some
Here
more
we go.
Idio Facto coming next week.
Nice.
Especially now that one member of Video Facto aren't going on their honeymoon. Sorry to talk about it again. But
It's all right.
a little salty.
You can be salty about that. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Not as salty as you would be if you were in the salt water in northern Queensland, but still.
Thank you, McCann.
Sorry about that. Maybe we won't be back next week because Levi will have murdered me. So.
Well, Levi and I'll be back. And it'll be a different theme podcast. We'll be talking about how to get away with murder.
Hey, well, that's actually a good way of getting more listeners because the way that you get people to listen to your podcast is have it about true crime.
Yep.
So
Maybe we can look at the science behind true crime.
no, we're not doing true crime. No, you start your own podcast after you murder me.
But
Maybe that could be the first episode.
if you want to commit a crime and then talk about it on the podcast, we can do that.
In fact, if you have killed somebody, hit us up.
Yeah. And give us like a good bit of evidence that we won't forward on to the police. We'll just use it as content.
Not that this is a true crime podcast. But
No, but if it was,
Yeah.
we'd be
Would be
asking
good for our
people to
listenership.
write in right now.
Yeah.
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 Anyway, this is nonsense. Let's wrap
It
everything
is.
up.
As opposed to the rest of our stuff. which
Yeah,
is-
the rest of it would definitely
Gold.
be nonsense.
All right, how do we finish this thing? I forget.
Join us on
That's it for this.
That's it for this episode of Idio Facto. Forward all suggestions, hate mail, evidence, and arguments to idiofacto@gmail.com.
And you can reach us on Facebook and Instagram at IdioFacto.
If you like the show, please rate and review us on iTunes. Links are in the show notes. Wow, how does this start? This has been a long time.
Do we want to do the thing?
I think
Let's
we
do
need
the
to do
intro.
the thing, right?
Yeah. Where is it?
This is going to be good content. I can tell.
Yeah,
gonna be
I'm in
rough.
trouble here. I've got to edit this as well. So,
I just wouldn't.
No edit.
Just
straight
leave
out
it
there.
totally raw.
Join us on an investigative journey.
We'll
As we
educate each
educate-
other.
No, sorry. What?
Are you looking at the old one?
Wow.
Yeah, I was. It's
Come
fine.
on. Come
Sam's
on,
in
guys.
now.
Nah,
Yeah.
it's fun. I'm
Sam's
clipping
here.
out. I need to quieten down, Matt. Jeez.
Chill out, bro.
Join us on an investigative journey. No, I need to do it with a bit more enthusiasm. than
Yeah, a
that.
bit more gusto. Come on.
Join us on an investigative journey.
We'll educate each other on a range of scientific discoveries, concepts, or phenomenon.
If you like this, that's it.
Got distracted by Sarah.
As well as dive into the complex world of... I'll do it again.
You do it again.
Start from the start.
All right, let's start again. We'll
Oh,
start again.
Jesus.
Also,
All right.
phenomena.
Phenomenon.
I think it's... Anyway.
It's phenomena.
I think
Yeah.
it's phenomenon.
I don't think it is. Don't listen to Sam.
Not phenomenons.
Phenomenons. Phenomenons.
I'm Matt McCabe.
I'm Levi Bateman.
And I'm
this-
Sam Lawsorica.
Ah,
God damn it.